Chris Cabell, GS-14. Okay, so I got this job in Saigon, and somebody sent me a telegram saying, we want you to apply for this job, which I thought was kind of wonderful because I thought the civil service left me behind. So I went to Saigon. I was the third person selected for this particular job because the first guy was scared to death when they landed the plane. You know, the plane comes down, and on the four corners of the compass, there are attack helicopters ready to shoot down any rocket that's aimed at that civilian airplane. I thought it was very exciting. This guy hyperventilated, and he wouldn't get off the plane, and they had to, you know, he slept there, and they took him back. The next guy that got off was displeased with the fact that there was dust and dirt and bad smells, and I quote, and way too many foreigners. So when they were looking for somebody to fill this slot, they didn't think it was going to be this hard. They picked my resume. Yeah, I think it was a 419 was the name of the form, the resume form. Anyway, when I was kind of sneaky, I went as Chris Cabell, and I found out that Chris got a lot more than Christine ever did. And when I filled in the gender, there was a little box for gender, but it was kind of in a weird place in the form. So I tread lightly with the ink on that particular area. So they thought I was a guy. And they told me later that they said, well, you know, this guy's been in the goddamn jungle for 2 years. He's not going to be upset with noises and smells and too many foreigners. So they hired me, the guy. And it kind of blew them away when I showed up in a dress and heels. That was probably the last time I wore heels in Vietnam, because it was a dangerous place to go walking in uneven territory. When I got there, it was a whole new world. It was Southeast Asia, but I was living with a Vietnamese family, and I did that because in the Philippines, I learned a lot about Asia, and one of the things that I learned was single women do not live by themselves unless they're prostitutes. And I did not want to join that crowd. I'm sorry, I'm picky. But anyway, it was an eye-opener for many reasons. The family was just amazing, and I didn't realize that they had. Ho Chi Minh said there will be no religion in North Vietnam, and you had a year to relocate either South or North Vietnam. So this family, now this is mom and dad, 2 grandmothers, 4 or 5 servants, 4 or 5 kids, and they walked from Hanoi to Saigon. And when they got there, Mr. Ting had been an importer-exporter guy, so he had some money. And he bought this villa. It was kind of rumble-dumble down, and they started to fix that up. And Mrs. Ting, although I really shouldn't say his name because Vietnamese women don't take their husbands' names. But anyway, she was a wonderful cook. So they had this big patio plaza thing out in front, right behind the gates. It was truly a gated community, and she basically supported the family for a while because her food was fabulous. She taught me how to make spring roll. She taught me how to make pho, you know, and a few other things. It was really just a gift. And they loved me because I was the only American that they'd ever seen that didn't pick up something off the plate and go, ew, what's that? Well, that's the nice thing about the Peace Corps. You don't do that. You know, in the Philippines, the question was, does she eat rice? So when the welcome dinner came, there was this huge buffet set out, and the whole town is gathered around to see what I picked out. And I thought, well, it ain't bread. And there was a lot of bread, and they were just sure I wanted bread. But I took some fried rice and some white rice and some, sticky rice and all this kind of stuff. So it was real clear to them that I like rice. The Philippines gave me a lot of clues on how to behave in Asia.